I'm Angie Callahan. Welcome to School Talk Monthly. In this program, we are focusing on our American Graduate Initiative. We'll also announce our 2012 PBS Kids Go Writers Contest winners, visit the junior division of the Great Computer Challenge, and find out who our Schools of the Month are.
It is critical that you stay in school, most of all because you want to have a successful career. In this age, you cannot have a successful career without a good education, which will permit you to get a good job and make money so that you can live the way you want to live.
Recently, we had the pleasure of visiting Sewells Point Elementary School in Norfolk, where Pat Harrison, the president of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, and Admiral Tim Alexander took time out of their day to read their favorite books to a group of first graders.
To find the real job that you want to do, read a lot. Be curious about everything. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be fiction. It can be nonfiction. If you want to be a news reporter, then that's nonfiction. That's journalism. But if you want to be a producer or create stories, that can be fiction. And both of the things can be part of something that you're interested in doing. Ask a lot of questions, and you'll find where you want to go.
Be your name Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Alley Van Allen O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way.
Well, I tried to read to my kids every single night, but I was gone a lot because I'm in the Navy, so I was at sea like your moms and dads probably are. But when I was home, I tried to read to them every night. You know what was my biggest challenge? I would fall asleep before my kids fell asleep. Because I was so tired, I'd lay down with them and we'd start reading, and they'd have to keep nudging me to keep me awake to finish the story. This book is called Last One In is a Rotten Egg. You can see there's a nice house and a car bringing some visitors. Gilbert and Lola were excited. Their cousin Wally was coming. They hadn't seen him in a long time, and they were looking forward to his visit. "He's here," shouted Lola from the window. And there you can see Gilbert and Lola and the family, the visitors coming in, including Gilbert. The door burst open and Wally tumbled in. "Last one in is a rotten egg," he yelled.
The children also had the opportunity to visit the WHRO Raising Readers van. The van makes regular stops at elementary schools throughout the region. Later that day, over 100 teachers gathered at WHRO for our American Graduate Teacher Town Hall. During the town hall, we asked several text polling questions. Our first question was, do you think the major military presence in Hampton Roads affects the dropout rate? 29% of our teachers said yes, 60% of our teachers said no, and 11 said not sure. Here are some of the thoughts they shared following that polling.
I think the military has a positive influence, not a negative influence on our area. Parents of students who are in the military, they're easier to get a hold of, they seem to respond faster, and there seems to be more guidelines and a little bit more structure at home.
I'm a product of military schools. I was a military kid growing up, and I can tell you, even though I'd gone to 13 different schools before I reached my freshman year of college, my education was the world. And I think the military children bring that to the classroom, and they add to what we're teaching in our classrooms because they have traveled more so than some of the other students in the classroom. I sponsor a club at our school at Lansdowne Middle for military children, and I think that it is a positive influence in our education system.
There's two types of transients in Hampton Roads, and one is the military, but the other I think does have impact on our students is between all of the different cities. We have kids that they regularly move from one city to the next, and it has to do with public housing, and I can get in this city, you can get this housing, and then if I move at this time, I can get these benefits from this section. And we have quite a few kids who are moving between cities and not as much collaboration between teachers and administrations of those cities, so those kids have smoother transition.
Our second polling question was, do you act as a personal mentor to your students? The overwhelming response was yes. Here's what they had to say.
As a teacher, I have to have a very strong sense of discernment for my students. You have to be able to identify when there has been a change in the demeanor of a child, when there has been a change in just the overall physical appearance of a child, as well as attitude and all of these issues. Years ago, I had a student that came into the classroom, and I looked at the child, and I said, something is wrong with this child today. You know, because normally, not bubbling, but the child would be engaging in the classroom. But at that point, I realized that the child was crying and all this. So what we did is I talked to the student's friends, what is the problem, because she wouldn't have given me any in response to it. So they identified, you need to talk to her, Mrs. Dixon. So I took her out to the classroom and went outside, and to discover that she had been involved in a situation and she didn't have the coping skills to deal with the issues, which is where most of our population is. They don't have coping skills. They look to us as teachers, as mentors, to be able to be there, to be able to give them the direction and how to deal with we call it the 3 C's when I was in student teaching. You know, well, what are the 3 C's? You got to know how to care, and you have to challenge, and you have to be there to be able to take that child and to be able to give them advice.
Of course, I knew it was what came with the job, especially with my particular population. So you go into the classroom ready to not just teach those skills. And for my classroom, it's a lot different because they're in there for a shorter amount of time, and we're actually working toward a goal, so it's not year-round. And I know that not only do they need to pass this test, but that I need to give them what else they need, because they're coming into the classroom with a lot of different issues, a lot of different concerns. Some of them don't have the parenting like mentioned before, or they don't have other mentors. They just, at this point, they don't have people who even believe in them. Mm-hmm. So to just say that I believe in you and you can, sharing what you want to about your life or about experiences. You know, today they were talking about the stress and strain of family pulling on them as it relates to them coming to school. And I let the young lady know, I said, you're on an airplane. One thing that the stewardess tells you, if you begin to lose air pressure, is to do what? You put the mask over your face. Mm-hmm. I said, you can't save anybody else until you save yourself first, and that's what this is about.
First of all, I agree with you. We are definitely role models, and all of us are role models because, for the most part, the biggest thing that a kid might see is one of us walk in that classroom and to be able to give a kid the right information. One of the things we have to do is be able to put that model up, that picture. If you don't give kids pictures of where they can go and help them to draw a mind map, you got to ask the key question. One of the key questions you got to ask is, what do you want to do with your life? You know, what do you want to do? And surprisingly, I had kids say, well, I don't think I'm going to be alive by the time I'm 25. That's a scary feeling. I had a kid have a birthday, and he said, well, I think it's great. I'm going to be 25 years old. I never thought I was going to get there. So what we need to do is, one of the things is create a map, a picture, and run that commercial. That's what these teachers do. What teachers do, we run that commercial over and over about positive ways and positive impacts. And at the same time, we're taking kids who are coming from broken homes. You know, the whole landscape has changed. More than 60% of them are in blended families. So it's our role to model what they need to do. We have transitioned from a whole different system. I think we have system failure, and we're afraid to say that. And you look at it.
You're talking about the school system failure?
System failure all across the board. And it's that wave that came across from California where we changed the whole system. If you look at the dropout rate and what took place in the age bracket of kids, when we went to middle school concepts, and you bring a 9th grader who is not prepared to walk into a classroom and to go in and be with the 10th and 11th and 12th graders, they are not physically ready nor mentally ready for that. So we bought into that concept, And now that dropout rate has ballooned.
Because ninth grade is where a lot of students decide
All
that they're going to drop out.
the statistics tell you they decide in the ninth grade. Well, guess what? If you kept them back with their ninth, 8th, 7th grade with that group, when they get to high school, they're looking forward to be to high school, but they're going to be a year older, they're going to be a year more mature, their body's going to be developed at a different level, and now they won't be prey when they come into a high school system and when they start watching certain things on TV, and they think they need to act those things out. So that's a system failure.
We also ask, how often do you communicate with the parents of your students? The group in the studio that night communicates quite a bit with the parents of their students. Here are some of the methods they use.
I communicate with my parents daily. I'm in elementary school. The parents come in to pick them up, and they ask me, well, what kind of day do they have? I communicate with them in that manner. I send home a weekly letter. Like this week, we're going to have an umbrella parade for March. I send home a weekly letter. A lot of them don't have email. Those who have it, I use it, but those who don't, I send a letter. I send home a homework packet every week. And then they have my phone number, so they can call me at any time if they have a question.
I definitely send notes home. I do communicate with my parents every day. I have a pack of notes that I bought from TAPS, and so sometimes the kids take them home, sometimes they won't. So other times I mail them home. I also make frequent phone calls, and most of my parents have my cell phone number, and I find that the parents are the teacher's best friend. And usually, particularly for discipline and for motivation, you got to call that parent. They have to get that kid back in gear. A lot of times it might be a grandparent or it might be an aunt or uncle. A lot of the kids are not traditional families, but communicating with the parents is definitely a must to be a successful teacher and successful student.
Our final text polling question was, as a teacher, would you say the level of community or business support in your school is high, medium, or low? 18% of our teachers responded high, 33% responded medium, and 49% responded low. Here are some of their thoughts on community and business involvement.
I have 18 students in my class. 15 of them are African American male. And the prevalence in their asking is, I need a job. Some of them have chosen to start families early in their life. They have children. They are their parent. There is no parent at home. And one of the things that we see every day is the first thing they say is, you know, Ms. Dixon, we're in your GED class, but can you help me get a job? You know, can you help me find a job? So one thing that we eager for, or we yearn for, is the businesses to come in, make connections with our students, and also express to them that that bridge has to be built between that high school diploma or that GED that links them to progression, in their career and development. Because a lot of students, they see many family members or aunts, uncles, people in their family making it every day without that high school diploma, but they need to realize how important it is in today's society that you need that diploma, that it's not as easy, just to make for any regular job. Even at McDonald's, you have to have a high school diploma.
You have to do.
So we are eager for our businesses. We had Goodwill in our high school today, looking for students that want to come in and begin working.
You do need the community to come in.
So we do need the businesses in, and we need them to be prevalent in our students' lives.
The teachers also talked about why students are dropping out.
A lot of students are disengaged from school. They're not connected to a teacher or administrator or any adult in the building, and sometimes they're bored or not challenged. They don't have an activity that's keeping them committed to the school. They wake up and feel like, oh, nobody will miss me today. So it's very important for students to feel connected and missed and important to that school.
I think a lot of children drop out because they fall behind and they lack the credits necessary to graduate, and they feel that there's such a difference between what they need to graduate that they give up, and they think there's no hope.
I find that I'm being told from the kids that they are not getting the connection from school to work. They're saying, I want to go out and live my life, and I don't understand how school is going to get me there. So often they're losing that connection from just the basic education out to the workplace.
I think what you're hearing a lot is the relevance of the instruction. I think we're looking at a 21st century, global, economic demands of students, and the traditional high school is not necessarily always meeting those. And so it's very important that we look at innovation and we look at new approaches so that a student who says, do I need to be here for 6-7 hours a day in a block class to learn English, we need to make sure that the instruction is relevant and it's really attacking and providing them the skills that they need to be productive members of our society.
The teachers shared innovative things that can be done to help the way businesses can connect with students.
One of the very positive things I've seen as I piggyback on starting very early in a child's life are the parent centers or the parent liaisons. We have elementary schools in all levels here in Norfolk, and I'm sure at other communities, who are working with parents, helping them know what is it my child needs to be successful. You know, we all think that maybe parents already know that, or they get up and they get them ready and they send them to school. But there's even more than that, but perhaps I don't know as a parent what those factors are. So our parent centers in schools are doing tremendous jobs. I witnessed at a school the other day where they had donuts for dads. 180 dads, male people, came out.
Male people?
Male people. And I won't say that they were all maybe, biological dads, but they were uncles and neighbors and male people coming to this school having donuts with these young African Americans, because the school was predominantly African Americans' children. That speaks volume. These are young children that will make a difference. They will be engaged. They will be a part of that system, so they can go on and do what they need to do as they get older.
For more information on the various aspects of this initiative, go to whro.org/American Graduate.
Look at what you are passionate about. Make that your work, and you will never work a day in your life, and education will get you higher and open more doors for you with that passion.
Basically, don't give up. That's the worst thing that you can do. Just keep on pushing, even if you think you're not going to make it. Just keep working hard. Things don't always go the way that we want them to, but that doesn't mean that we should just quit, and especially not on high school, because the world that we live in today is, it's just really rugged, and you can't make it without an education. So you really need to work hard. Just have faith in yourself.
Stay in school. There's so many opportunities, especially you want to have that high school diploma, and that just boosts your confidence. It's going to make your parents, your family, everybody else is going to look like, wow, you did it. Like, that's amazing. Then when you get to college, they're like, okay, so, you big now. You can go and get a college degree in any field, and you're going to be making some money. You really, really want to go to college, or at least a trade school, or somewhere that still can up your education. You don't want to not have that degree or certification to push you further along in life, because employers are looking for that, and that's the biggest thing. You want to, be smart. You don't want to, you want to keep yourself smart, be around other people who are smart and positive, and just do the best you can. And there's going to be people to support you along the way, even if it's tough. I totally understand. I've been through it. It's been tough. I wanted to drop out of college at times, too, because I thought it was tough and I couldn't handle it. But when you have a support system, get to know your professors and have them help you out, people you can really trust, and you'll do great.
500 young writers and illustrators entered WHRO's PBS Kids Go Writers Contest. The Blue Ribbon panel has made their decisions, and we congratulate the following winners. In kindergarten, Achilles Elementary in Gloucester took both prizes. Connor Mercer's story, The Happy Turtles, won first place, and Aiden Holland received honorable mention with The Cowboy and the Alien. First grade first place went to Courtney Bowen from Ocean Lakes Elementary in Virginia Beach for her story, A Friend for a Fairy. Honorable mention was Jocelyn Lampert from Walsingham Academy in Williamsburg for her entry, The Great Ocean Cleanup. Carsville Elementary student Rashid Kennedy took first place in second grade with his winning entry, In the Woods. Honorable mention went to Zoe Lucas from Kitty Hawk Elementary in North Carolina for her story, The Brave Pony. Tidewater Academy in Wakefield took both honors in third grade. Philip Pons, A Very Bad Decision, took first place, and Abby Carroll received honorable mention for her story, The Land of Food. In fourth grade, homeschool student Emma Bustetter took first place by writing the story, My New Sister. Honorable mention went to Caitlin Parks of Broadwater Academy in Exmoor for her entry, Spider, the Very Special Pony. And in fifth grade, Christina Dowlings from Park Place School in Norfolk took first place with her story, The Puppy Adventure. Honorable mention went to Shakayla Alston from Truett Intermediate in Chesapeake for writing My Genius. We'll be recording these fine students reading their stories this month, and soon you'll get a chance to see them as 2012 WHRO Young Storytellers on WHRO, WHRO Kids, and WHRO.org. Now it's time to recognize our schools of the month. Student council members at Rawls Byrd Elementary in Williamsburg were invited to SCA Day at the state capitol in Richmond. This event was sponsored by Delegate Michael B. Watson, who welcomed Rawls Byrd students to the tour and the Capitol buildings and the offices. They were able to sit in the gallery and watch our state government in action. We're giving students a first-hand look at the way our government operates. We applaud Rawls Byrd, our elementary school of the month. The engineering club at Hugo Owen Middle School in Chesapeake recently won the Virginia State Future City competition. This competition helps middle school students develop an interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The team planned, researched, and composed an essay on the use of fusion energy as a city's main power source, and used it to design a scale model of their city of the future. For bringing STEM subjects alive in a way that allows students to solve real-world issues, we congratulate Hugo Owens, our middle school of the month. In Newport news, Denbigh High School's Aviation Academy is preparing highly motivated students for a soaring career in the skies. The Aviation Academy is a magnet program where students are required to take physics, chemistry, and 4 years of math at Denbigh. They also take classes at an airport campus at the Newport News Williamsburg International Airport, and they complete FAA pilot ground school that will prepare them for flying lessons and private pilot licensure. For promoting aviation career pathways, we salute Denbigh, our high school of the month. For many students at St. Pius X Catholic School in Norfolk, the end of the school year doesn't mean losing touch with classmates. St. Pius offers their own state licensed camp program, which begins the first weekday after school closes and continues through the summer. Students get to participate in arts and crafts, swim at a local pool, and take weekly field trips to places like the Norfolk Zoo and the Virginia Aquarium. For providing a place the school community can enjoy summer together, we honor St. Pius, our independent school of the month.
I can just tell you that what employers are saying today is that the first thing we all need to know is you have to show up. And so to me, being able to focus on-time graduation is an opportunity for students to begin to show up, to be successful in school, and then that really leads to opportunity out in the industry. And so whether you're playing sports, whether you're doing entertainment, whether you're going off in the industry, it really starts with successfully completing that first task. And high school is that first step So I think on-time graduation is important. I think it's something that we value, and for young people, it really is the first step to the rest of your life.
On April 28th, 106 teams in grades K through 5 gathered at Old Dominion University to compete in the junior division of the Great Computer Challenge. Here's how the day unfolded. There are 3 unwritten rules for the Great Computer Challenge. And the first one is do the very best that you can do today. That's all we can ask you to do. The second rule, Bill talked about it, save, save, save. And the third rule, have fun. Let the games begin. First place winners in Level 2 at the Great Computer Challenge Junior Division. What school do you go to?
I go to Windsor Elementary School.
Westside? You're from Westside, and where is Westside?
In Smithfield.
In Smithfield, Isle of Wight County, right? Isle of Wight County won quite a few awards here today, didn't you? Got some good technology teachers there in Isle of Wight, I believe. Let's give it up for the GCC. GCC! This program and all the links we talk about are available online at schooltalk.org. Well, that's all for now. So long. Have a wonderful summer.